Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Subramaniam Masulamani. I am a Tamil. Today my topic is a united Tamil community, dividing Tamil leaders and the losing vision of the Tamil cause. To lead the Tamil struggle, we need a George Marshall, a Winston Churchill, a Mahatma Gandhi, an Abraham Lincoln, a Benjamin Franklin, a Theodore Roosevelt, a Nelson Mandela, a Martin Luther King, all in one. What we need is team leadership. There will never be a better time than this to achieve our freedom. The world opinion is on our side. Morality is on our side. Free world is on our side. But our so-called leaders are not on our side. Sad indeed. The biggest challenge we Tamils facing is lack of will of the leaders to unite and put forward a unified front of significant force and impact that is recognizable by the international community. The cause is we Tamils are suffering from Pauling-Peterson syndrome. That is, are we winning against each other or are we winning against our common enemy? The enemy is fast convincing the world, not because they are right, but our leaders cannot unite. In the absence of unity among our leaders, the international community is dropping their stand on Tamils. Why waste time and energy when a bunch of braying wild donkeys cannot come together? And anyone thinking I'm wrong and my comparison to donkey is not right are welcome to write to me. I will reply to them. What this community needs is the leadership unity. There is unity in the community. Look carefully. Unity towards community. Got it? Tamil people must keep a very close watch and vigil on our self-proclaimed leaders. And the so-called leaders must be kept on close watch and must be forced to come out in the open so that the community can cross-examine them in a public forum. Tamil people must keep a constant vigil on any organization or leader so that they do not use the goodwill of the people to their own personal wealth and welfare, to their ignorance and ineptitude, or to display inertia due to their ineffectiveness and inefficiencies. There's a saying that either you lead, follow, or you get the hell out of the way. Most of them must get the hell out of our way. Democratic institutions do not work if people do not participate actively. Tamils must actively participate in the formation and maintenance of our organizations and government. Before May 2009, Rudrakumar and Emmanuel were together on a common agenda with Prabhakaran in the center. Now, they are far apart. The mission did not change. Then what changed them? Right? During the 2009 genocide, they were completely missing. And now they are out in the open. Why now? Why for who? Rudrakumar and Emmanuel can be seen together in S.J. Emmanuel's book titled Agonies and Aspirations of the Tamil Struggle, page 103. That's the proof. Why are they divided now? Is it ignorance, ambition, greed, avarice, vanity, fame, or all of them? What good is the endeavor if the outcome is naught? There is no focus, there is no mission, There is no enthusiasm, just emptiness and words. It is unfair to merely target Mahinda Rajapaksa, the Alibaba and his 40 thieves. We have our own weaklings too. It is the duty of us to separate the oak from the forest, leaves and sawdust from the cow dung, tigers from the kittens. We had to put them in a blast furnace and check them out. To lead the Tamil struggle, we need a George Marshall, a Winston Churchill, a Mahatma Gandhi, an Abraham Lincoln, a Benjamin Franklin, Theodore Roosevelt, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, and Margaret Thatcher, all in one. It's an uphill task. For every one step forward, there will be 2 steps backwards. It is not for the faint-hearted. It is not for Ruth Raghumaran or Emmanuel. We need team leadership. In our struggle for freedom, why fight for a piece of land when he can have the whole island? Leaders know what will happen in the future. Losers just run with what is happening now. Leaders create the conditions for change, while losers are victims of conditions. Now Tamil people can differentiate leaders from losers. To know the future, one has to stand on firm moral commands, convictions, commitments, and conscience. These are the bedrock of any leader. Tamils, check your leaders out. If we continue this weak outlook, another debacle and genocide is unavoidable. All Tamil educated, erudite, and elders must get involved and raise their voice. Look for the tsunami, not for the ripples. Water is rising and the tsunami is coming. Tamil leaders cannot configure it out. They are suffering from Pauling-Peterson syndrome. That is, are we winning against each other or are we winning against our common enemy? Our leaders need counseling. Among Tamils, neither there is E is equal to MC squared. No acceptable leadership quotient among them. Simply said, there is no force to make any impact. We are a ship without a captain, ship without a sail, ship without a rudder, and a ship without a compass. Right or wrong, since independence, 2 leaders provided some form of semblance to the Tamil community that was struggling to create an identity for itself. The trouble with Tamils is that we have no formal knowledge and information about the attributes of a leader expressed as leadership quotient, like the intelligent quotient. Leaders have leadership quotient. There are at least 13 attributes that are measurable and can be used to determine the leadership ability of a person. The first and foremost important attribute is effectiveness. That is a sine qua non of leadership. That is a basic minimum. Do our leaders at least have the basic attribute, that is the effectiveness? I'll be surprised if mobsters are unaware that there is a process of determining leadership ability expressed as leadership quotient. People who are uncomfortable with my points of view about our leaders must subject their leaders to this test and see if they have the leadership capacity. That is why in America, leadership selection is such an arduous task and a lengthy process. Since the temporary setback in 2009 and the genocide, Tamils are trying to reorganize into one united political force. We are able to find common grounds to unite. The community is united and ready. But we have too many chiefs. We have too many chiefs, but no Tamils to follow. Our so-called leaders are not united. I wonder why. If we cannot unite at this stage, when are we going to unite? Intelligent, educated, and wise Tamils are leaving the community in droves, for there is no sense of community. There is no synergy, and there is no energy. As one friend said, we have no math except division and subtraction. We have no addition, we have no multiplication, we have no exponential expansion, and we have no comprehension. There is no E is equal to mc squared. That is, to achieve any threshold force, one needs the mass and the speed. We do not have it. The cause is about 5 leaders are dividing and misleading the community. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? While discussing the plight of Tamils worldwide, several remarks were made, and they all seem valid. Soon after the 2009 genocide, there was uncertainty among Tamils as to what future holds for them. But some of us felt the situation now is much better to fight our freedom in a different and more palatable way. We were under the impression that Tamils worldwide will unite and become a political force unto ourselves. It did happen worldwide, except among Tamil diaspora. The Tamils in Sri Lanka are united. That's excellent. Tamils in South India are united. Malaysia are united. Singapore are united. But among the diaspora, there seems to be power struggle than call for unity. It looks as if 5th graders have taken over the community. They probably want to lead and guide the community, but they don't have the capability. They don't have the time and money. One minister for TGTE told me, we cannot do this full time. We have our personal lives, families and professions. No one asked them to be the minister. You wanted to be the minister. I'm sure there's no perks and profits in being minister of an imaginary government, except the community at heart. We need selfless, community-minded people to guide the community. Part-time transnational government of Tamil. I do not know if you folks noticed or not. The Prime Minister, the ministers and the members of the parliament are part-timers doing a full-time job somewhere else. Freedom movement is not an easy job. Not a job for the faint chicken-hearted. As Patrick Henry said, there is no space between freedom and death. Either you are free or you are dead. Every man should be willing to die for freedom, for that is the very spirit of life, freedom. Two tiny dog puppies demonstrated what freedom is. A friend of mine came to see me with 2 little puppies on a leash, on a chain. I told him, what will happen if you let them loose? He said, nothing. So they let them loose. They were so happy, for they have got their life back. And when they got their freedom back, a man gets his life back when he is free. When he gets his freedom back, he wants to be as creative as possible. What we have in Sri Lanka is not slavery, but savagery. There is no freedom, there is no death, and it is life at its worst. 20 million Sinhalese lived it, and now they are infecting it to the Tamils. Mahinda Rajapaksa et al. Wanted to divide the diaspora. And I do not know if that was the reason why we are divided. There are at least 5 divisions among the diaspora. And there is infighting among them to the liking of Mahinda Rajapaksa. To Mahinda Rajapaksa, the diaspora is of no threat, for they are all divided. I'm sure Mahinda had discussion with these groups that are working for the emancipation of the Tamil community. Rudrakumar, the Prime Minister of TGT, and S.J. Emmanuel of the World Tamil Forum, I'm sure, has had discussion with Mahinda Rajapaksa. These are the two biggest threats to the Tamil community. Several educated and experienced elders in the community have confirmed this view. Mahinda Rajapaksa has silently and quietly achieved something that we Tamils are unaware. The diaspora is not a potent threat to Mahinda Rajapaksa. What Mahinda Rajapaksa needs is to, what Mahinda Raja wants is to get out of the vice grip of the Tamil genocide and the war crimes. And if he can get the diaspora donkeys to join him, then he can show his middle finger to the international community. I am sure Rudrakumar and Emmanuel are aware of his plot and plan. Then why did they talk to him? Why are they divided? When I try to explain this to the innocent among the diaspora, they seem to get upset. I have been called names. I am particularly concerned about the transnational government of Tamil Nadu. It was a fantastic idea to help each other transnationally like a multinational corporation. What TGT needs is a robust and charismatic leadership. The institution and the idea is fantastic, but the people need to be polished up to international standards. Currently, they find comfort in dealing with small and politically powerless organizations. What we need are people who are capable of effectively entering into dialogue with world leaders. I do not see them having that capability and capacity. TGTE, as they call themselves, are not reaching out to the other groups and unite them. When asked Rudrakumar about why they have not made that effort, his answer was elusive. He said, "We are trying to be democratic and reach out to the grassroots level." Basically, what he is saying is, we are not interested in the other groups. He lacks political skill. When answering questions, he says, "I am thinking, that's my view," but he is not sure about his capacity to take an idea. He lacks political skill. When answering questions, he says, "I am thinking, that's my view," but he is not sure about his capacity to take an idea, market it, and implement it, and make it a success. Compare him to Mahinda Rajapaksa. He did something unthinkable and stood by it, right or wrong. As a Tamil, I hate and despise him. But among Sinhalese, he is a leader and a hero. You cannot argue with success. To deal with Mahinda Rajapaksa, you need guts, determination, perseverance. That's the basic minimum. There's a sign outside Rudrakumar's office says, "Please do not disturb." There are lots of things happening about Sri Lanka in the international forum to benefit the participating countries at the expense of Tamils and in the name of Tamils. But I do not hear anything or read anything about the TGT is part of the process. I know the answer. They will say, it's all done secretly behind the scene and screen, and we cannot divulge the details. Anytime I raise the specter of TGT, there are a couple of people raise their voice on behalf of the people at TGT. TGT is doing things without the consultation with the Tamil people. Then, why not we live with Rajapaksas? If you are living in a dungeon, what do you care about who is at the entrance? But the speeches sound fantastic, reminiscent of 1960s. Lots of noise, no substance. The West and the worst. The international community is confused and uncertain about the ability of the Tamils to manage their own affair if a separate state was given. They do not want to open a can of worms that cannot even wriggle. So they seem to favor a united Sri Lanka or a divided Sri Lanka. What have the Tamils got to offer the West in this bargain? They are not united. Half of them are supporting the Palestinians, and some are anti-West but live in the West. There is no common sense or confluence in the community. We are strongly divided than weakly united. There is no chemistry. What the Tamils must understand is stop being patsies and panhandlers. We are pretty good with wealth creation, but we do not have wise politicians. Or do we have the leadership quotient? When G.G. Ponnambalam asked for 50-50, S.J.V. Chellam asked for federal states. S.J.V. Chellam got re-elected not because he is right, but because he is weak, nice and frail. Why do we elect weak and the meek as our leaders? The Western support is slowly slipping away, while our leaders do not have the courage to allow them to be evaluated for their leadership capacity. We need our leaders to come out in the open and expose them so that the people can get a handle on their leadership ability. Hiding behind radios and newspapers are outdated mode of exposition. The current system is more equitable, where the leader is judged for his voice, breathing pattern, body language, eye movement, choice of words, attire, neatness, definitiveness, and decisive statements. The moment a leader says, I think, it's time to change to cooking or Discovery Channel. I will and I am, we will and we are the words people like to hear. There is subliminal message we exude that cannot be hidden. Now you know the reason why Rudra Kumar talks to people via radio instead of audio videos such as YouTube, Facebook, etc. Some people think I am causing chaos. That's exactly what we need today. Chaos to create order, a new world order for Tamils. Today, what we need are diplomatic and politically skilled people to convince the world of our character and capacity. We have to offer the world something in return. All we have been asking are our rights and our needs, but we have nothing to offer to the Sinhalese or to the world. We are asking them to give us our freedom. How can they when they don't have it in their first place? I'm sure if we reach out to Sinhalese and to the world and say, what do we have to offer to you for you to recognize us as a distinct community? In Canada, the French wanted to separate. But the rest of the country asked, what do you need not to separate? They said, we want to be recognized as a distinct community. Simple. It was granted and enshrined in the Constitution. And voila, that's French word. We have united prosperous Canada. We should reach out to Sinhalese and ask for it. Even if we divide, we have to live with them. We cannot physically separate the country into two nations. Politically, yes, we can be separated, not physically. But what we need among us is community. I mean unity. A community needs constant motivation. There is no destination. It's a journey we undertake generation after generation. It is never ending. It's a never ending system, not status quo. It is sine qua non of any culture and community. That is what we should have done 60 years ago. That is what we should do now. Until such time, all our voices will be unheard. Freedom is a process and we had to be at it. It is a never-ending duty of every Tamil. There will never be freedom without unity. So let us work on unity for the community. But we Tamil 70 million worldwide must unite, stay together, work hard, and never ever give up. The best is yet to come, and we are winning for sure. Rest assured. Thank you. My name is Subramanian Maslamani, world class Tamil, powered by convictions, commitments, and conscience.